Topping the news, a police-involved shooting ends deadly for 3 men in a quiet community in eastern New Providence this morning. In the midst of the melee, questions over children being used as human shields. Apparently, intelligence led police to the location, as Jiminita Swain tells us tonight.
A heavy police presence in the Blair community near the Easton Road entrance, where an operation launched by officers ended with 3 men wanted by police being killed. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Solomon Cash, was on scene at Newgate Road, where the shooting took place.
Sometime around 2:30 a.m. this morning, police received information relative to wanted suspects for the most recent homicide in New Providence. As a result of this information, officers executed a search warrant on the property just behind me. Once the officers entered the property, they were confronted by 2 armed suspects who opened fire on the officers.
The gunfire exchange did not end there.
The officers, being in fear of their life, returned fire. Both suspects were shot and fatally injured. The officers then proceeded to the interior of the building, where they breached. As they breached the building, they were confronted by a 3rd armed suspect. As a result of that, officers, again being in fear of their life, opened fire, which resulted in the 3rd suspect being shot and fatally injured. I can tell you, once the gunfire subsided, the officers were able to recover 3 firearms on the property. The matter is under investigation. Her Majesty's coroner has already visited with us and examined the scene.
Officers swarmed the scene for hours as crime investigators processed the scene, moving in and around the property, even searching nearby vehicles. 3 bodies were eventually carted away. It's unclear if any police officers were injured during the exchange. There were also reports that men attempted to use children on the property as human shields. Here's how Cash responded to that question, as well as who else may have been taken into custody.
I'm not privy to that information, but I can tell you there were other persons at the residence. All persons in the home were taken into police custody.
As to the persons who may have information about other suspects wanted by police,
Concerned citizens alerted us to this information. I want to thank members of the public who are concerned about their communities and who want to help the police in getting these persons off the street.
Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Now, since that report was filed, Chief Superintendent Cash said some 5 firearms were recovered from the property, along with 22 pounds of marijuana worth an estimated $22,000 on the street. Investigations are ongoing.